Inserting media. Let's go over the four major media. Media 1, video. Media 2, audio. Media 3, photo. Media 4 is text. Text is just media. Okay? So if we can go past and get past these four different sources of media, you can embed just about anything. So when it comes to video, what I know as teachers, they always pull from either YouTube or TeacherTube, or they want to develop their own curriculum and put it inside Google Docs and then share the doc out as a lesson. So in that case, it might be as simple as like watch this video. Okay, and they would have a link to the video in here. You can also insert it as a picture and make that a link. Let's cover that. Let's go, first off, I'm going to need a video. And I'm going to pull something from my end of the world. There we go. So these are the videos I share with my class. And what happens is I got them broken down via level, via software. Okay, so let's go into just a video. Doesn't matter what I'm teaching. It can go along just about anything. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go and grab this link up at the top. I can copy that link and go in here, highlight this, and put a link in there. So insert link. Notice it automatically titles watch this video. And I can put a paste here and hit OK. So anytime they click on that, bam, goes right to the video. That's one of the easier ways to do it. And if you ever need to change it, you can hit change. The student doesn't see this here when they're looking at the document. They don't see that when you click on it, it has this. They only see that it's a link and they can click on it. Let's say you were more artistically driven and you wanted something a little bit more in here. Well, that's a different story altogether. You can go into a playlist. Okay, so for this example, I have a playlist and it's called the Photoshop. So I can go back here to my main channel, and here's a playlist. So in the playlist, I have these little icons, and what I can do is now tear this one off as the tab goes. Go to sample 1, and also have this one showing. Okay, here's the fun part. What I have to do is shrink this one a little bit, and that way I can see the channel with the playlist and my Google Doc. And I can click and drag this over. It'll automatically populate it with a picture and a link. So that's another way to do it. Now you can make the link the picture by simply going into the actual video, copying it, and hitting the link button. Okay, so now the picture becomes the link. Paste it and OK. So now they can click on that and it'll actually launch the video. So that's one way to share video, and that's by far probably the easiest way. Do you want to embed the video into the actual document as far as not being able to go to YouTube? No, you can't use HTML. That's the only bad thing about it. Now, the second thing, audio. Well, for audio, I use podcasts. So let's use that as an example. So here's podcast sample. And you can see there's probably going to be a lot of these. I got these links over here. And when I click on them, it takes me instantly to the podcast and I can listen to it. Now, inserting podcasts is very simple. Making podcasts is pretty complex, but we'll cover that later. Okay, so we got this, and there's going to be a link next to it. All podcasts usually do. I'm going to close that out, and again, it's as much as just inserting a link to a podcast. Now when they click on it, it goes right to the podcast. All podcasts have two different portals. Portal 1 is to iTunes. Portal 2 is usually a place where they post it before they post it to iTunes. So if you're savvy enough to find both links, that's a good thing. You can always have the iTunes variation there. Audio is a little bit of a beast to deal with. If you're a new instructor, I wouldn't concentrate too much on audio at first. Video is easy. Audio is a different story altogether. Photo. Okay, now it gets really fun. Let's say I have a photo, and I'll pull up an example here, a very simple one. How about cat? That's a very safe search. Okay. Yeah, the traditional cat with a melon on its head. Any teacher knows what this is. Save image as, and let's go to desktop. I'm going to save this cat. Now, if I want to embed that within my Google Doc, there's a couple variations to be able to do it, but I like this one the best. Insert image. Browse cat. Now, for those teachers that teach software, I'm going to show you a really cool thing. Let's say I'm in Photoshop, okay, and I'm teaching concepts of Photoshop. There is a thing called the snipping tool. It's located under Accessories. So you can go All Programs, Accessories, and choose Snipping Tool. Let's say I need to make a new snip of this text bar right here, or the toolbar in Photoshop. I can take and copy this, and I can go right back to Google Docs, and I can paste it in. This goes for any program whatsoever. It's Control V, and it pastes it right in. It takes a couple seconds, but there it is. And the last one is text. Well, text is easy. You're sharing text all the time. Is there another way to share text? Well, you could actually share another document. Okay? So if you have two documents, let's say I go out to sample 2, which is an Excel document. Okay? What I like to do is copy this, the URL to it, but make sure when you share it, it's on the web, or they have rights to it. So please view my sharing link just in case you're unfamiliar with this. You can copy that and go back into sample 1, and let's say it could be as easy as text. Here's a link. Again, here's a link, and I can paste it in here. Now, anytime they need to see the other document, they can quickly go into that link. All right, so those are the 4 major variations of media. There's more, but if you get those down pat, you're fine. I mainly use photos. Videos, I'll use a link to. I never use audio, but just in case you're a big podcast fan. And text I use all the time in different ways. So that is sharing media. Enjoy.